We can start today's talk, right, on this beyond prosperity, the 5 pillars of the blessed life in the Chinese culture, right? It's a Theravada Buddhist perspective. Okay, so now we are looking at something very interesting, right, in our Chinese culture, right? We do have, the good and blessed life, especially our Chinese New Year's is coming, right? And then of all these Chinese blessing, then we can look at how this Theravada Buddhist perspective talk about these 5 blessings, and then see whether we can go beyond that and even to transform it, right? If you look at our Chinese traditions, we used to say 五福临门, huh? 五福临门. What is this 五福? 福 mean blessing, right? And there are these 5 blessings. Right, and these 5 blessings includes longevity, wish you a long life, and then prosperity, 富贵, right? And then another one is what? Healthy, 康宁, right? Wish you good health, right? Another one is mean 好德, 好德 mean wish you a good heart, right? Or good action, good virtue, and then another one it means good death. Okay, wishing someone good death during Chinese New Year is indeed a blessing. Okay, so this 五福临门 is like this 5. May the 5 blessing comes to your house, okay, or to your home, okay. And of course, these are our beautiful blessings coming from our ancestors, right? And you find that during the Chinese New Year, this 五 represent 五福临门, so become very auspicious. But many of us doesn't know what these 5 blessings all about, especially the 5th one. So I think we have to really break this the superstitious belief. In fact, wishing someone to have good death is also indeed a blessing. But anyway, definitely in Buddhism, wishing someone good death is not a blessing, But anyway, we see how we can transform it, right? So you look at the earliest 4, they are more of the worldly blessing, right? And of course, I'm going to show you, these 5, the pillars, 5 blessings. They eventually become very essential support. Even Buddhism also said the same thing, right? But to me, our ancestors didn't tell us, how to fulfill, how to get this 5 blessing. Especially when we come to the 5th one, they said that now, 小朋友唔需要 what do you call? 大家嚟時 they said 大家嚟時 and also the parents also don't know how to teach them to acquire the 5 blessings. So wishing someone's, to have these 5 blessings is just only a blessing, an aspiration. But I think Buddhism can help us, to realize these 5 blessings and to transform it, right? Okay, so now we look at this. Now, there are 2 kinds of blessing. Right? One is a worldly view, another one is a Dhamma view, right? So you look at this, the Chinese one. These 5 pillars represent 5 worldly aspiration, right? 长寿 啦, prosperity, good health, good character, virtue, and then a peaceful death, right? So these are the 5 things that our ancestors taught us, right? Or our 5 aspiration, or 5 wonder things that we wish for, right? So this kind of 5 aspiration, 5 wishes, right, makes our life in this world very comfortable and happy, right? Don't you think so? I think we need long life, right? We need rich, wealthy, 富贵, having a good wealth, good health, right, and good character. Okay, so we will explore this one by one. And of course, right, if you look at this Dhamma view, right, I think there are many places the Buddha talk about the blessing, but I think the one that Mangala Suttas, the Buddha said, these are 38 blessings. They are indeed true highest blessing, right? And the sutta says they are not to associate with the fool, to associate with the wise, and to honor those worthy of honor. This is the highest blessing. So altogether there are 38 blessings. So you can see that these 38 blessings, they give a very very gradual stages, and eventually, help us, to realize the Nibbana. Okay, so, okay, anyway, we look at this, each one of these 5 blessings, right, through the lens of the Buddha Dharma. Okay, the first one, pillar, the first pillar, right, long life. Here, I'm giving you a precious human opportunity. In Chinese, when we say long life, means, you live for long life. Live for, okay, many years and not dying young. Yeah, so this is the first form of, good luck, right? And of course, if you look at the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha says it is a very rare and precious opportunity, right, to be born as a human being, right? It's very rare, right? And of course, to be able to born as a human being and lagi to understand, the Buddha's teaching, to listen and practice the Buddha's teaching, that is also more rare, right? So, and of course, when you talk about the long life, what are the causes that lead to long life? Of course, we know that having a long life is not just happen by chance. It's not by luck. It must have a cause for having a long life. It's like, you see, if you look at the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha would say, having a long life is probably in your past life. Yeah, you are respecting life, right? You are not killing. That's why this life, you have long life, right? And of course, if you look at places like in several suttas, they said you have a long life because probably in your past life, right, you are not harming people, you are not killing any living beings, right? So, or even when we say because of your practice of loving kindness and practice of compassion towards all creatures, right? So you reap the karmic consequences, right, in your next life or having a long life in this life, okay, and a future life. So, yeah, I think this is the main cause that you can think of, right? So having a long life in this life is not by chance. So there must be a reason. Of course, there are many other reasons as well, right? If you eat a good food, right? If you are very health conscious, you take care of your body, then sure you can prolong your life, right? Then we will look at another aspect also. Having a long life doesn't mean that you are happy, right? You must live meaningfully, so that will come another part. And then, of course, having a long life. Okay, then in Buddhism, when we talk about long life, then what is the purpose of long life? Why we need long life, right? If we live a long life but lying on the bed, then what is the meaning of long life, you see? Yeah, but I think having a long life, there must be a purpose, right? if we live our life significantly, okay? So when you talk about living life significantly, I think, there's one, from one of the Dhammapala, it says that better one day live seeing the arising and passing away than 100 years without seeing this. Okay? So when we say if you are living a long life, right, without understanding of the Dhamma, or someone chasing after the pleasure, right? Or live in ignorance, then I think it's just a waste of time, isn't it? Right? But if we live a life significantly, like in the suttas say, if we live a day with mindfulness, okay, kindness, awareness, right, and wisdom, definitely, that kind of life is much more valuable than those who live for 100 years, you see. So we had to ponder, if you live a long life, so you had to live life significantly, right? So anyway, let me see whether I have any other things to support. Here. Deep practice, okay? So you see, wishing someone to have a long life, right? We know that life is very precious, right? In the first place, then I think once we understand that life is very precious for us, then we have to, we have to have, the right views to support, the long life, isn't it? For example, here I propose to, probably it's good if you can reflect on these 5 daily reflection, right? And the Buddha suggested we reflect on these five dhammas every day. For example, I'm subject to aging, right? Yeah, I will grow old one day. So you prepare. Now you prepare yourself. Although you live long life, right? But you prepare yourself, right? That you will know one day you will grow old. And then the second one, I'm subject to illness, right? Yeah. So even though you live a long life, healthy life, but you know that one day also you're subject to illness, you will get sick also. You prepare yourself. You contemplate on it. Doesn't mean that you have to be escape from it, but face it. And the third one, I'm subject to death, right? I will die, right? And the fourth one, all that is dear to me will change and vanish, right? So it means that everything and everyone I love will change and be lost. The ones that are very close to you, one day they will die, disappear, and then, you see? Then the fifth one is more on the karma. I'm the owner of my own karma, and my choices shape my life, right? So, okay, so you see, if you want to live a long life, I think we have to live our life significantly. You see, one of the practice, good practice that you can contemplate on is this 5 daily reflection. You see, this reflection are not meant, to make you very pessimistic or make you sad. You see, they are like what do you call reality check. When you wake up early in the morning, you see, I have to contemplate on this. So there is this urgency, you see. Yeah, I know that one day I will die, so I must, practice well, eat well, live life to the fullest, you see. So you live your life significantly, right? And of course, the Buddha also said, before he's passing away, he said that, we have to strike on diligently, right? 精进, 不放逸, you see. You have to strike diligently. You see, so I think as we are contemplating on this, it brings us a lot of clarity also. Not fear, right? Because we understand everything is subject to change, and then our life is not permanent, right? You will go through all these stages, so that creates a kind of urgency for us, right? Then I think you will live your life meaningfully. Okay? Then another one is also good that you can contemplate on the mindfulness of death. I think this is something that I think Buddhism can offer. You don't find it in other religion, right? Because for other religion, there's, I don't know, maybe a taboo for them. But for us, I think it is quite a reality check, right? So it is a training that death is certain, right? And then time of death is really uncertain. We don't know when to die, but you know for sure you will die, right? So the death is certain. Then of course it is not about being afraid of or sad. In fact, it is liberating, right? And then I think the purpose of this mindfulness of death is to create that kind of spiritual urgency, samvega. That kind of spiritual urgency, it gives us a sense that I must practice now. Okay? I shouldn't waste my time, right? Because the long life means it gives you more time to practice more, you see? Not to waste your time for indulging in those, the sensual pleasure, chasing after materials, comfort. No, not like that. Right? So having more time means that we have to make full use of our time, attending retreat, those kind of events, right? So you must have that urgency that I shouldn't waste my time. I must practice now, right? Then of course, clarity. All right. Okay. So when you truly remember that. know that you will die one day, right? Then I don't know, maybe you will let go of what do you call many things, right? You will let go of your arguments with others. You let go of what do you call, I don't know, laziness, and you let go of those unnecessarily, worries, etc., right? And then I think because of that urgency, you will start focusing on, what am I to do now, right? So you will look at, what matter you, right? Like for example, you have to practice loving kindness, okay? And you have to cultivate the virtues, to have a peaceful mind. Just like recently you saw, peaceful work, right? A group of monks, about 19 of them or 20, they walk, for how many hours, how many miles? 2,400 miles, more, or maybe like 3,700 kilometers, right? For us, only walk for 100 kilometers. But that is a good start, you see. Their mission is very simple. It's just only work for peace, you see. So you can see that lots of people, really eager for that kind of peace. I think this is something that they are very much lacking of, you see. So, that kind of work, silent work, carry a lot of message. You see, as they, travel, stop every station, they will give a definition of peace, you see. And of course, through peace, they said how to cultivate peace. They talk about the mindfulness, talk about the loving kindness, talk about the compassion. You see, these are the qualities that people's now very much lacking of, you see. So you can see that kind of teaching, in fact, we have it. You see, but just because of ignorance, we don't get that things, review, you see. So this monk, they work silently, they talk about this, this teaching. So that really touched a lot of people, you see. I saw a lot of people, they cry, you see. I think they have a lot of joys, but in tears, right? And then I think this is a very touching moment, you see. So you see that, irrespective of religion, these are the qualities, all right, we all have. But it's because of the politics, because of many other reasons, all these things are hidden, right? So the simple act of, the war, really touch millions of people. So I think, this is an ancient practice, you see. So at least to make your life lived significantly, yeah. And so once you understand all these things, then having a long life is indeed a blessing, isn't it? Yeah. If you have long life, you know that you have to cultivate all this virtue. Probably in your young age, you strive hard to earn money, but just about you get retired, right? So you will start thinking, how should I spend my life, another 20 years, if you can live for another 20 years, up to 80 years old, for example, right? Then you have to think how you want to live your life fully, right? So I think Buddhism can offer something new, very different, right? Buddhism can offer you, the mindful training. Well, Buddhism will to train you how to, bring out your loving kindness, your compassion, all these qualities in your life, so that before you die, when you think of all those qualities, you feel very happy. That is also another air is a good rebirth. You see, so to me, all these 5 blessings are connected to each other. Okay, now so we know that the long life, having a long life, right, is a blessing, but we have to live life significantly. Okay, by understanding, the practice like daily contemplation and the mindfulness of death. Okay, so this is the first pillar. And the second pillar is prosperity. Okay, it's also connected. No? It's also connected with the earliest one. And then, there are 2 kinds of wealth. The one is the worldly understanding. The worldly understanding is like, like what people think about, like having a lot of money and, things, and then you enjoy, status, yeah? Having those datukship also, prosperity also. You feel very different. Or Tan Sri even like it best. Okay, then the Buddha talked about two kinds of wealth, right? The one is the material wealth, huh? As we have seen, huh? And of course, this kind of material wealth even last long, right? It will last long, like it can be stolen, and then lost or broken, and then you see the Buddha said, this material wealth has drawn 5 enemies. I think you know them, right? What are these 5 enemies? The first one is government. Right? The government. What is that? They will give a lot of borang, right? Borang A, borang B, borang C, So you have to feel all kind of borang, right? A lot of taxes, a lot of fine, right? Okay, and yeah, you have to pay for the properties, pay for your house rent, all these things by force. Okay, you don't pay, then the government will confiscate it, your house. Then the second one is the thieves. They will steal your properties. And the third one is a fire, and then another one is water, right? So these fire and water, they can burn down and then sweep away all your properties away, right? And the fifth one is your your 亲人, bad relative or bad heirs, or inheritance, right? Or right? So, or like your children, 不孝子女, okay? Yeah, it's your children. You see, they will fight over your properties, your wealth after you pass away. You see, so you see that this kind of material wealth is not it's not secure, right? No matter how much you accumulate, right? These 5 enemies, right? Well, take it away, right? At any time. That's why the Buddha says, this kind of material wealth is not secure. We have to, the real wealth is the spiritual wealth, right? The spiritual wealth here is Dhammadana. So here they talk about the 7 treasures, right? And these 7 treasures cannot be stolen, decayed, or lost. Okay? So, what are these 7, right? The first one is faith. Faith. Okay, the faith means to have confidence in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sanghas, right? And then you have confidence in the path of awakening also, right? Yeah, I think the faith is very important, because if you have no faith in religions, you don't know how to proceed in your spiritual path, right? So we have faith in the Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas. We have faith in those noble Aryas, because because we follow these steps, we know that eventually also we will have reached the same enlightenment. Okay? Yeah. 信为能入嘛, you see, it is only through the confidence that you can enter into the stream, right? Then the second one is a virtue, right? Virtue means you lead a good life, right? You lead an integrity life, right? Or lead a blameless life, you see. That one we also will go later on, yeah. And then another one is moral shame, moral dread, right? He read Otapa, right? You look at the moral shame, 惭, 惭愧. But many people, especially Chinese, they don't know how to differentiate these 2 words, right? What is 惭? 惭 means, it's a kind of inner feeling, right? Inner feeling, you feel inner shame, right? When you are doing wrong thing, right? You have that kind of inner shame, yeah, inner shame. If you are doing something bad, you have that kind of fear of shame, huh? And then another one is the moral dread, right? Moral dread is if you are doing something bad, then you experience the consequences. You're afraid of being scolded by someone, right? Fear of blame, blaming by someone else, right? Because if you are doing bad things, then you fear of, the consequences, by scolded by someone or blamed by someone. So you see these 2 differences. Yeah, these are also qualities, right? In one places also, Sutta also say, one without fear of shame, shame and dread, right? He is no different from the animal, right? The reason because we have that kind of fear, it makes us a noble person, right? Another one is also much learning, right? So you have to keep listening to the Buddha's teaching and remembering, and reflecting on the Buddha's teaching again and again, right? Make us wise enough to understand the teaching, right? If people ask you, what's the Buddha Dharma, at least you can share with them, right? Not here, dengar de keluar, yeah? But we understand very clearly, right? Listening one time is not enough, but repeat again and again and again. Like the Buddha spent his life 45 years, you see, teaching, same teaching again and again. But people listen it quite differently, you see. Not to say, I have understood this, Bhante, you don't need to speak this teaching. But Buddha will say the same teaching again and again. Okay. Then anyway, generosity. Yeah, this generosity is much more than that, you see. It means that you have to practice the, practice of giving and then sharing again and again and again, you see. Not sharing one time, but sharing again and again. So this is a practice of letting go. And then through this practice also, you give so much, you have a lot of joys by giving. And of course, it can get rid of your stinginess, your greed, etc., etc. Yeah, so this is generosity. Right? And then another one is the wisdom. Right? Wisdom here means to see things as they are. At least we don't get attached to something. Right? We know that everything is of nature, of impermanent. Right? So even the loved one also. Right? Once you have wisdom, you don't fall into that attachment and then give you so much suffering. But once you have wisdom, you learn to let go, right? So once you let go, also you have a lot of wisdom to handle. Okay, so these are the 5, these are the 7 spiritual wealth, right? Anyway, when we talk about the wealth, right, I think it's good that we don't want to be a slave of the money, right? So we don't want to collect the money and money and money. I'm so stingy, right? End up you don't use that money. Your children will fight over the money. And then, for what? The life we have to live significantly, isn't it? So, yeah. So you see, money is important, the Buddha sometimes say, right? Because through the money, we can accumulate merit, right? Through money, we accumulate merit. And also it brings us a lot of wisdom and then also the goodness in us. So these truths are important. So you can see that the money is important, not to say not important. Okay, now, these are the very brief notes on the simple and practical advice, for the lay people, on how to handle money wisely. Right, from earning it to spending, okay? And these are from the Sigalawada Suttas. The first one is for proper use of wealth, right? The Buddha said the wealth earned, in the honest way, right, should be used for these 4 purposes. Okay, the first one, for yourself, okay? For yourself means for one's own well-being and happiness, right? So you have to spend your money for your own basic needs like what they call the food, shelter, right, or health. The second one is for your family, right? Family, right? So you have to support your spouse, right? Your children's and your parents, okay, and others who depends on you. And then the third one, we had to share with friends and community, okay? It means that be generous, right, with your friends and your neighbors, okay? But I don't know nowadays, people, your friend will ask money from you. Then how? Nowadays, once friends ask money from you, and then you are going to unfriend him. Isn't it? Then you expect no money come back to you anyway. Huh? So, but not in the Buddha's teaching, right? So the money that we use, sometimes we have to help our friends in need. Huh? We depend the situation, depend the situation. Then the last one, to support the Sangha, right? And this Sangha, and then the virtuous people, so including like your teachers, right? And the virtuous people, the elders, etc., right? And we call it as a merit making is because, as we support, right? These monastics, right? It's like planting seeds for our future well-being, okay? Merit, So that is to say, the monies that we earn, don't keep it 100%, okay? And share portion of it, right, to support people whom in need, right? This money is also important sometimes. If you use the money wisely, right, it can create a good relationship with friends, okay? Yeah, I believe so. If not, so much stinginess, then you have no friend. Sometimes we have to spend little money, to build that kind of harmonious relationship, okay? Yeah. And then another one is there are 4 sources of wealth accumulation, right? Like for example, the first one, wealth acquired by hard work, okay? Yeah. And then the second one, wealth protected with care, right? So it means that you have to keep your money safe, And then having good friends, having good friends, I find it very interesting because having good friendship is also a form of a form of wealth, right? Because when we are right, because they will protect us from bad decision also sometimes. I believe so. If not, your so-called friend, they will ask you to invest this, invest that. You see, nowadays investment is very dangerous. Okay? So those kind of friends, they will, lose your money only. But they are not guide you to safeguard your money. Okay? So friendship is important. And then another one is living within one's means also. It means that you spend less than what you earn. Don't spend too much money. Don't change iPhone all the time. Okay, and then try to avoid debts. Don't borrow money from your friends. If you earn 2,000 means that within 1,500, keep another 500 in the bank. You see, our Buddhist, our Chinese value is that, we don't spend our money fully. We will keep some money for investment or keep some money for safekeeping, okay? And then try to avoid debt, okay? And then, of course, if you have earned little, then try to lead a simple and balanced life. Don't spend so much money. You can also use a Samsung. Samsung only 300. Why you want to spend for 3,000 or 5,000 iPhone for what? Okay. Then another one is the practice of generosity, the wealth, right? You see, when we talk about the generosity, it is not just about giving of money or giving of food, giving of possession, right? But through the practice of generosity, I think the important lessons we learn or the practice we learn is this, okay? Let go of attachment of mind, right? So every time when you give, right, you let go of the attachment of mind, right? And you will find that as you practice this generosity, you find that your stinginess, your greed, okay, become lesser and lesser, isn't it? Don't throw away all those all those second-hand things to someone, because then when you are clearing the stock and then you will possess more. So that is not good. Then the second one, as you have practiced generosity also, you see, we also planting a good seeds, right? Create good merit that will bring true happiness. Okay, and then another one is to develop the heart of non-clinging, right? Finding joys in sharing. Okay, so you see, when we talk about the second pillar, prosperity, it's not about how much money you earn, right? It's about how wisely and kindly, right, you use it. Okay, and this is one thing. But of course, we don't confine, this material wealth, but we also have to develop the inner prosperity also, the inner wealth. Okay. Okay, now we look at the third one, the good health. Good health. Huh? Of course, when you talk about health, it means that you have a physical, good body, right? That free from all kind of sickness, right? And then you feel strong, right? And then lead a very comfortable life, right? Okay, so this is the meaning of good health, right? But in the Buddha's teaching, right? What do you call? The Buddha thought there is this body sickness, the opposite of the good health. But the more important, the Buddha teaches, right, is there is this mind sickness. What are these mind sickness? It's about the greed, hatred, and delusion. So it means that when you talk about the true health, a good health, that means you have to be free, right, from this mental illness or mental poison. You have to be free from this mental greed, right, hatred and delusion. I mean, that is the Buddhist definition, right? The true health, not by having strong body, muscular body, but you have to be free from all these mental poisons. Okay? Here simile, the Buddha as a physician. So here is a very good simile, right? The Buddha sometimes compare himself as a doctor, right, or the physician, right? His core teaching is about diagnosis and cure, right? What is the diagnosis? Here the Buddha said there is a suffering. Yeah? That is why the Buddhists realize the truth of suffering, right? then the Buddha gave the prescription also, right? What is that prescription? The Buddha says there is a way to end the suffering, right? And he prescribed the Noble Eightfold Path, right? So we can say that this Noble Eightfold Path is a complete treatment plan, right, for the mind, for curing the mind, especially mind infected by greed, hatred, and delusion. Anyway, I also giving you some treatment also. Okay, when you talk about the complete health, there are these four practice for the holistic well-being, right? These four things, right, they are supporting each other, right? It's like four legs of a strong chair, huh? 4 legs of the strong chair. So the first one, of course, very important, right? Physical health, right? Normal, ordinary people, right? Common people, they only know the physical health, but they don't know other three. I think the Buddhism can offer is other three health. Of course, physical health is important, right? Because they are the vehicle, right, for our spiritual journey, right? Without a good, strong body, we cannot practice the Dhamma, right? So we need this strong physical body. If you feel sick, go and see doctors immediately, right? And get your sickness cured, because the body is important for our practice, okay? That's why the Buddha's, advice to the Sanghas, we have to be moderate in our eating, right? Moderate in our eating. Yeah, not eat too much, not less eating, but be moderate. Yeah, moderation. And then another one is appropriate exercise also, right? The Buddha also taught us, some after eating, sometimes we can go for a walking meditation, right? And this walking meditation is also a very good form of exercise, okay? And then another one is mindful attention to the body, right? This mindful attention to the body, if we have any physical pain, right, just to note that kind of the physical sensation, right, without judgment. Okay, so if not that physical sensation without judgment, it means that you are living in the you are grounded in the present moment. Okay, and then that helps you, to spot your tension or discomfort, okay, in your body, right? Yeah, we are talking about the physical health, right? Say like if you have physical pain, right? Then we have to note that pain, right? Without judgment. I think that is very important, right? And then once we have that kind of awareness, right, the physical sensation, right, I think that helps us to release. We also know that, this kind of pain won't last long, it also will disappear, right? So we can spot, so that can help to release the tension. Then the second one is the mental health. The mental health here to propose for divine abiding, okay? Yeah. So I think this is a very important teaching for a happy mind. Through these four divine abiding. The first one is loving kindness, compassion, altruistic joys, and equanimity. Right? 是犯住, huh? So this is a very, very mental health. Huh? What is, in brief, what is loving kindness? Metta. Huh? Loving kindness. Huh? Loving kindness, it means that we are wishing someone to be happy. Of course, to yourself also, and we wishing yourself and wishing someone to be happy, right? And this kind of wishing someone to be happy also can calm down your anger, right? And the second one is compassion, karuna. Huh? Compassion, when you have compassion, it means that you can feel the suffering of someone who experience pain, right? So, and then of course, not only feeling the experience of someone having pain, but you're also wishing someone to be free from that suffering. See, so this kind of compassion, right, it can dissolve our cruelty, and our 冷冷, very coldness. Okay, 有些人很冷啊, so what's wrong with me? 那是你的问题, But no, we have to develop that compassion also, right? That's why in the Mahayana they have the form of Avalokiteshvara, right? Guan Yin, right? Or Guan Yin is a manifestation of compassion, right? It's that Guan Yin will listen to your pain, right? You need someone to listen to your pain and relieve your pain also, right? And then Maitreya Bodhisattvas, right, is a manifestation of loving kindness because he smiles all the time, right? Yeah, we need someone to smile at us also, and then we smile at someone also, people feel the same, right? And then it's how we can build a very strong relationship, you see. If not, you come into the temple, everybody look at you very cool, then you will run away, you will look at your time, okay, you don't feel that kind of cordial relationship. So I think a very good start in that kind of spiritual relationship is through smile. Yeah, but it's not easy. That's why we have to train to smile all the time. Yeah, you look at the children, people love children so much because they smile a lot, right? But as we grow older and older and older, we don't have smile already. That's why people don't like us. Because we don't smile, right? Yeah, but if we smile, you will notice that lots of things will change because you smile. Okay? And then the third one is the altruistic joys. Yeah, altruistic joy means 慈悲喜, okay? It means that you have what do you call the genuine uh, delight in someone's success, okay? And then yeah, when you wish someone success, that kind of genuine, okay, not KK one, okay, but genuine one. So that kind of altruistic joys, it can cures our jealousy, huh? Our jealousy and resentment also. You know, sometimes you see someone get success also, you feel very much angry. You know, why not I, you see? But if you have that kind of genuine wishing for someone's success, you can see jealousy also gone, resentment also gone, anger also gone, you see? Yeah. And then another one is equanimity. Okay, equanimity means, you know, you had a balanced mind, you know, so, and then you can see that your life is very much stable, right? It's very calm, right? Whenever you meet any up and down, you know, situation, your minds remain calm. If not, living in a house, if someone's mind if their emotion is very disturbed, you can see a lot of disastrous situation in the house. So we need the wisdoms of the equanimity also. If anything happen, you know, we practice calmness. Okay. Okay, then the third one is emotional health also. It's very important, emotional health. Don't get disturbed immediately, right? Yeah. Yeah, for example, you know, there is a good practice in the Satipatthana is on the mindfulness of feeling, right? What is this mindfulness of feeling? Like, for example, if you have that unpleasant feeling, for example, right? Suddenly arise. You just not that, simply not that unpleasant feeling, right? Oh yeah, this is unpleasant feeling, right? And then without reacting to it or without sweeping away by it, okay? So just not that unpleasant feeling. Okay, then immediately reminding of the Buddha's teachings of this Vedana Anupassana. Just nod it. There is this unpleasant feeling arises in me. Nod it, nod it, nod it. 3 times, then okay. Okay, without immediate reacting towards it. Okay, and then another one is, of course, to understand their impermanent nature, right? Yeah, you, for example, that kind of unpleasant feeling will stay in your heart, for example. Right? If you have that kind of understanding, right, you know that this unpleasant feeling won't stay for some time, right? It will change, right? So once you have this kind of understanding, it can free you from getting into what's called disagreeable mood, okay, or unpleasant mood. So you see that, oh, okay, no problem. Yeah. You also know that, yeah, because of this kind of unpleasant feeling, yeah, maybe because of my bad action now, so I have to reap the consequences lah. So probably that kind of feeling can free you from that kind of emotion. So this is why I call it emotional health. Yeah, sometimes also emotion is also a poison, because it creates unpleasant feeling, give rise to anger. So this kind of anger is like a poison, right? It creates toxic. Right? So it also give you bad health also sometimes, right? It also make people gone crazy sometimes, or like a lot of scientific prove that if someone tend to have this kind of angry mode, the liability of getting cancer is higher. Okay. So sometimes you see, if you look at the Buddhist practice, it's more of the joys. You have to have joys. So this kind of joy is like antibiotic, right? Mental antibiotic can cure our greed, anger, and delusion, right? So it makes you more peaceful, more calm, right? Then another one is a spiritual health, Yeah, this spiritual health is a foundation, right? So like, for example, now it's coming to your your practice now. Like, for example, you have to have a consistent in your meditation, right? So you have to make a vow, like to sit how many minutes or how many hours, okay, per day, right? You think that this is my spiritual healing, okay, for my spiritual health. So I need to meditate at least 1 hour a day, for example. And then of course you have time, right? Don't waste your time watching movie, right? You spend your time doing a little bit of studies of the Dhammas. AI can help you a lot on this, I believe, right? If not, then another one, to have a virtuous living. Okay, so when we talk about the virtuous living, we come to the fourth one. The fourth pillar is virtue, having a good character. Okay, having a good character, you look at this. As I said, even the same also in Buddhism, this virtue is a foundation, right? So it's very important, right? So when we talk about the virtue in our general understanding, is being a good person, right? Don't do bad. That was when we were young time, our mother would say, 要做个好人，不要骗人. So that is also a blessing, isn't it? Okay, you have 你要做一个受人尊重的人, you have to be respected by someone. Okay, but of course, I think in the Buddha's teaching, being a virtuous person, right? Not just being good like that, right? I think Buddhists offer much more than this, especially in the Buddhist training of virtue of morality. Is a what do you call intentional training of our action and and speech, right? To refrain from doing bad things. It's an intentional training. Try not to do bad things. Okay, and okay, you look at the five precepts. You look at the 5 precepts. The Buddha never say, don't do this, don't do that. If you do this, you will be punished or you will go to the hell. I think this is not the Buddha's teaching. All right, the Buddha give us asks us to observe the 5 precepts because they want us to have a peaceful mind, right? And if we practice this, if we don't practice this, then you suffer lah. But as we practice this, okay, then our life will become much happier. Okay, so you see, the Buddha says we have to abstain from killing, right? They abstain from killing. Instead, the Buddha's this this training is to train us to be compassionate, right? So you can see that by refraining from killing, in fact, we train our mind to be more compassionate, isn't it? So you can see that a good qualities is being trained, isn't it? Similarly for the stealing also, right? The Buddha said, don't steal. It's not you don't do that, but the Buddha, in fact, wants us to cultivate stealing. Here the containment, right? Containment means being happy with what you have, right? Then we don't steal. Ask us not to steal, but we cultivate the containment. This is also a very good quality of mind, being contented with what you have, right? And the third one, sexual misconduct, right? Then instead of asking you not to do this, but the Buddha asks us to train to respect someone, right? Honoring commitment and not causing harm through lust, isn't it? So you see, we are cultivating good virtues in us. And the fourth speech, we are developing, we are cultivating the truthfulness, speaking what is real and helpful. And the last one, intoxicants. We are cultivating the mindfulness, keeping your mind clear and in control. Right? So you see, when we lived by this kind of training, because Sikapadang is a training rules, then there's no regret. Then we have joys, our mind become more concentrated, and then, and then we have our mind become more clarity. Okay, so I think these are the training. That's why we said the virtue is a foundation. You see, the foundation for your higher training. Okay. Okay, the last one is 善终啦, huh? 善终. 善终. So when during Chinese New Year, wishing someone, wishing you a good death. Don't say it's a taboo, right? But it's a blessing indeed. But I think. Okay, so as we understand, the good death is that dying painlessly, consciously, surrounded by your family and your loved one, okay, without suffering. This is called good death. But I think, we have to go much beyond that. Huh? So you see, the Buddha said, that is not the end, but it's a transition. Okay, it's not the end by itself, but it's a transition. It's like someone, end this life and will continue next life, right? So that continuation is like you are migrating to other country. 我们移民了 like that, okay? But of course, 移民 is not that easy, you also have to. Also, there are many other factors also affecting your 移民, if you are not doing good things, your 移民 can be very disastrous, okay? Yeah, so we have to have confidence in our migration. Is it migration? Yeah. Okay. So you see here, the quality of death reflect the quality of the mind. Okay. So here you talk about the karma. The karma. There are these three factors affecting rebirth. 我们要有本钱去移民 So now we are preparing ourselves because we need to have a good life in next life also, right? So we have to understand these three factors. The first one is the karma, right? Of course, in Abhidharma, karma is classified in 4 ways. The first one is called the heavy karma, right? The heavy karma. What is this heavy karma? Like for example, if we are doing very good things, in Abhidharma, they say heavy karma is like one who has attained into a very deep concentrative stage, like you attaining into the jhana, right? Then one who has this attainment considered as the heavy, heavy karma, a serious karma. So this serious karma will immediately ripen first at the moment when we pass away, right? So this kind of heavy karma will push aside all other karma. So it will take you immediately, to be to reborn in the higher realms of existences. Okay, so this is called the heavy karma. But this is a good one. But how about the bad one? If we are doing a lot of bad things like killing father, killing mother, what else? Or killing arahat, and then you're wounding, wounding the Buddha, or you have created a schism, right, in the Sangha. You see, these are a very serious, unwholesome karma. You see, at the moment you pass away, right, this unwholesome heavy karma will push aside other probably good karma that you have accumulated, but because of this heavy karma is so heavy, it pushes aside all the karma and it will take you immediately to the hell. Okay? Yeah. Then another one is also interesting. We are not going to go into the details. Some of you might know already, but we are just only revised. Another one is like the proximate karma. You know the dead proximate karma? Oh, that proximate karma is very important. Okay? It means that this is a karma you do or you remember before the death. Okay? So, sometimes we also can set, even a person who has done many good deeds or bad deeds, for example, can have good rebirth, right? If in their final moment, right? If they can recall their good deeds, or if they are going perform a good action by inviting the Sangha, if they are able to see the Sangha, and if they are able to perform the Sangha, because in their mind, seeing the Sangha, that give them a lot of blessing, right? Then, that kind of moment of seeing or remembering or performing the good action will take them to a good river also, okay? Yeah, so this is called the proximate karma. Or similarly, also you can think a good person may have done a lot of good merit. Yeah, but at the moment when they pass away, or before they pass away, they have that moment of anger, right? Resentment or the wrong view. Probably with that proximate karma, they may be reborn in the unhappy states. Okay, so that's why it is very important, right? For us, for anyone of us, we know that our death, especially when the doctor says your life only lasts for 3 months. You really have to prepare yourself now. Okay, prepare yourself. Okay, so to keep your mind peaceful and virtuous, so that you train your mind, to be virtuous, at the end of your life. So that kind of virtuous, remembering all these things will take you to a good rebirth. Okay, then how about the karma nimitta? Okay, the affecting rebirth. Karma nimitta. This is like the sign of our karma appearing at death also. I don't know. For example, someone who is like to do dhanas, maybe they may see them. Okay, I don't know. see themselves. Okay, see themselves offering robes or offering food to the sangha. Okay, sign of karma appearing at death. How about for one who has virtue, right? He has that memory of observing, the 8 precepts during the Uposatha day. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So you can see that, before he passed away, he has all this nimitta. Or someone, will see, 什么回光返照, they will see the ancestors. This is also the sign of karma nimitta, right? Or someone who keen in meditation also, right? Before they pass away, they will see what they call a bright light, right? Or that kind of very peaceful radiance, right? From the past meditation, they feel very peaceful. Okay, and they see a lot of lights there. It's just like those who recite the Amitabha, right? They have a lot of this karma nimitta, right? They will see the Amitabha coming, Guan Yin coming, to welcome them, or even they smell a very good fragrance in their room. So these are all the karma nimitta. These are the sign, the good sign, right? Yeah. Or if they're reborn in a very evil realm, they will see a lot of fire. Or if they are doing the slaughtering the animal, they will see the animals, coming to them. You see, so these are all the karma nimitta. And then another one is a gati nimitta. Gati nimitta, it means that the sign of destination also. It means that where they go, right? So I don't know. How about if someone born in the heaven? What they see? They may see before they die, they will see what they call, I don't know. They will see the cloud, or they will see the celestial mansion, the palace. Okay, I don't know, right? But that's from the Mahayana, from Mahayana. I think Theravada also the same thing, right? Okay. How about the difficult one? Is the bad one, right? Maybe like a fire, then it will be the hell, I don't know, but don't think of those bad ones. So we have to cultivate now, don't wait. So definitely if we cultivate that good virtues, everything will become so blissful. So these are all the good blessings for us. And then another one is how to prepare for a death, for a peaceful death. I think the Buddhism can offer a very good answer. So the first one is the remembering death. So you can see that remembering death is also a very important practice for us, right? Yeah, you can contemplate like, death is certain, the time of death is uncertain. What should I do right now? Okay? So your reflection remind you, don't waste your time now. Okay? Don't waste your time because today is very precious. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. Okay? So don't have regret. So practice now. Right? So the second one is cultivation of merits. Okay? Because when you are doing merit, right, you are in fact generating a very strong positive karmic forces, right? That strong karmic forces will be ripened at the moment of death also. Okay, and then what are these things? Yeah, you can do the dana, sila, and bhavana. Okay, the third one is letting go practice also. Okay, yeah, what do you call non-attachment to possession, non-clinging to relationship, non-identification with the body. Okay, yeah. So let go of possession. Yeah, while you are still alive, okay, practice to let go lah. Let go. Your things slowly. Yeah, and you can things like that. I was just only borrowing, this anyway. Okay, yeah. So now time to let go. So you slowly let go. And then no clinging to the relationship also. Okay. You understand, okay, one day that's we will all depart, living, one day. Yeah, so let me love them well now, okay? So don't wait until they pass away and cry, but doesn't help, isn't it? And then another one is also like non-identification with the body, okay? So you can see, our body is like a rented house. It's like a car. After using for 80 years, what else you want? It's already olofok already, old car already, right? People change the iPhone every 2 years, but our body has been used for 80 years. What else? So, so this is not mine. So you can practice like that. It's not mine. Yeah? So you have to change your spare part, or you have to change your new body. And then another one is the final moment of practice. Okay, so yeah, you can recollect the triple gems, the mindfulness of good deeds performed, letting go with understanding, so impermanence. Okay, so especially when we go to someone who are about to die, right? We can ask them to recollect the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, okay? Or you can ask them to recite together with you, have confidence in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sanghas, okay? Remembering them, to take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, so that their mind is free from all kind of fears, right? And then also ask them to recollect their past good deeds, like for example, what they have done in the past, right? And then, yeah. Then another one is letting go with understanding impermanent. Okay, so you can also say to themselves, right, this body is not mine, right? It's impermanent, right? So now I have used it for almost 80 years. I think it's good enough, right? So it's time to release it. Okay, yeah. It's not easy, but anyway, we had to prepare now. But it's okay. To me, Yiming, okay, migrate to other country, like people who migrate to Canada, they never even give you a call, right? Yeah. So similarly, when we migrate to other celestial, other place, what do you call, other realms, okay, they will never give you a call, but you know that they are very happy there. I think that's good enough, right? So we have to have confidence in ourselves. Okay. Yeah, this one is only for those noble saints who have seen clearly, right? They understood that the final relinquishing, right, of the five aggregates. Because these aggregates, it's not mine. So this is final, letting go of the five aggregates. Okay, so now time's up. So if you want to die peacefully, do it now, right? No fear of death, then reflect on death daily. If you want to have a good memory at that, then practice all these merit, like generosity, virtues, and meditation. At least, right? You know something to remember. If you have not done anything of these things, then your mind is empty, lah. You have nothing to recollect, before you die. But if you have done something good, all right, then you can recollect those good, wholesome action. Then ability to let go, because you have practiced a non-attachment, to the possession, to the relationship, letting go of the body, so you are ready, ability to let go. Okay. Then another one is a wholesome mind. As you are recollecting the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, recollecting of your own good deeds, right? You have confidence, surely, right? So this is what we say. We have to prepare for a peaceful death, right? So that each day, it's an experience of samsara, right? Especially when you go back tonight, right? You know that you are going to die, so you prepare yourself, okay? Then the following day when we wake up, reborn again, we're full of strength and energy, right? Then you don't waste your time, but to accumulate good merit, right? So this is the definition of good death, right? Because that day is too short for you to do good deeds, so don't waste your time, right? And as you are preparing for death at night, right? It means that when that day to come, you have no fear of that, because you know that this is my last day already. Okay, so this is my New Year blessing to you, right? Yeah, we conclude, right? May you have the blessing of long life, not just for more years, but for more practice, more growth, more letting go. May you have the blessing of prosperity, not just for comfort, but to share, to give, and to support what is good. May you have the blessing of health, not just a strong body, but a calm mind, clear and ready for meditation. May you have the blessing of virtue as your unshakable foundation, the source of joys and freedom from regret. May you have the blessing of peaceful passing. When the times come, a gentle release without fear or clinging. And may all these blessings lead you to the ultimate blessing, Nibbana. 这个中文for those who can read Chinese, 新春吉祥我们新年要到了所以呢要趁早跟你们祝福五福临门 OK 我会祝福你们五福临门是什么呢？愿你得长寿之福，不仅是岁月长久，更是修行增长，学会放下，心灵成长。愿您得到富贵之福，不仅是生活安稳，更是懂得分享，乐于布施善持护持善法。愿您得康宁之福，不仅是身体健康，更是内心平静，清明安定，便于修习。愿您得好德之福，作为人生坚实的根基，带来喜悦与无悔的自由。愿您得善终之福，当因缘尽时，安然放下，无惧无执着。愿这五福皆成为助缘，引领您走向最就近的福，那就是涅槃。我觉得这个是我们新年最好的祝福了。萨埵萨埵。大家要夾夾嚼咯。Okay.
Now you generosity,
Uh-huh.
use chaga and dana.
Dana is just ordinary giving, but chaga is much more than that. You just understand like that. Dana means jhana. It's just ordinary words, dana, giving. But this generosity is different, because when you are doing generosity, you are deepen your spiritual practice by practice letting go, okay, or getting rid of stinginess, right? And then letting go of the attachment to the self. You are developing the joys by giving away all these things, because as you are giving away, right, practicing the generosity, it brings you so much joys. So it's more on the spiritual giving. Okay. Yeah, because I'm starting this recollection of 6 recollection, like recollection of the virtues of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, even the recollection of Sila also, precept, and recollection of the Jaga also, the generosity, and then another one is a recollection of heaven. Yeah, I start this as part of our monthly cultivation. Yeah, I think this is what we Theravada very much lacking of, you see, because as we thought of Theravada is only meditation, 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 but there are so many types of meditation in us, yet we not exploring it, you see. So I find that, in our temple, we start with this monthly cultivation, and we start with a series of different cultivation. We find it, the result is good. Okay, yeah, probably we can do something like that, not just only hearing, right? But we can also try to recite, Itipiso, try 28 times or 35 times, and then with little guidance, and then with the sharing, to really make it a Dharma cultivation. Okay. Yeah, 下次再讲了。也很有趣的，很有趣的，yeah.
But usually we say low sun time, we have to do 10 things and say 10 good things, correct? No? So can we say about these 5 good things? Is it
可以，不会 superstitious, very good. Wishing someone a good death is good.
It was never done before.
No, you said that when the times comes, a gentle release without fear or clinging. That sounds good, no? Yeah. Okay, sadhu.